I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the No-How Step in Hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're good and educated about the show, that's when you can click on that merchandise tab. It can take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store, whether that is socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets. It makes no difference to the Renegades of Puck. Something like 88 different items in our online store. The best way to say it is we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent hockey operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on X and Threads. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. You can also find us on TikTok. So whatever social media platform it is that you prefer, doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't take you but a second, but it sure goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. YouTube is what we are pushing right now the hardest. Please jump in the trenches and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and just search out Renegades of Puck and subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications buttons and join all the other Renegades of Puck that are in the trenches already on our YouTube channel, like our great friend Carlos out in Memphis. We sure could use some more Renegades on our YouTube channel, so pass those links along and help us grow the YouTube channel. There are no such things as podcasts without video elements, so we need to make sure our video element is as strong as our audio element has been the last couple of years, so we need to build that up. So again, that's on YouTube. Please support that channel. We'll get back to plugging the audio version of things soon. You can support the channel financially and make a donation by going to Venmo, search Renegades of Puck, or scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the independent operation known as the Renegades of Puck. You have helped us build this entire studio known as The Bunker. You've helped us build up the technology behind the scenes, and we are always continuing to grow and add and make things better. So please, if you can spare a dollar or two, we sure could use it, in every single one of those pennies that you do send over goes directly to supporting your local Renegades. Again, scan the QR code that is currently on your screen to make a donation. Now listen, I know it is time for the No-How Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It is time for operation number 906. That is right. It is time for show number 906. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves down 1-0 in the first round of a best-of-7 playoff series versus the Vancouver Canucks, falling 4-2 in Game 1. Extensive amounts of coverage and recap coming up on Game 1 here, but let's talk about the rest of the series before we move on. Game 2 will be taking place on Tuesday evening in Vancouver, another 9 o'clock start locally in the Central Time Zone. Game 3 will be at Bridgestone Arena on Friday evening. Game 4 will be Sunday at Bridgestone Arena. Game 5 will be back in Vancouver if necessary, and that will take place on April the 30th. And just assume if necessary for the rest as well. Game 6 is scheduled for May the 3rd, and that is at Bridgestone Arena. And Game 7 is scheduled for May the 5th, back in Vancouver. So the Nashville Predators, once they skate in Game 2 on Tuesday night, will have Wednesday and Thursday off before welcoming the Vancouver Canucks in for the first home game of the series for the Nashville Predators. Now, through one game, I mentioned the score was 4-2 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. Some of the other numbers for the series so far, and we will continue adding to each and every one of these categories, and we will continue tracking each of these categories as we move forward. Shots on goal after one game in this series, the Nashville Predators out shooting the Vancouver Canucks 22-21. When it comes to the blocked shots category, the Predators have 14 through one game. The Vancouver Canucks have 11. Hits a very physical first period. Things slowed a little bit as the game got a little bit tighter, but the Canucks out hit the Nashville Predators 41-34 in Game 1 of the series. When it comes to face-off winning percentage, the Predators were at 43.8% in Game 1, 56.3% for the Vancouver Canucks. On the special teams scenarios, the power play for the Predators in Game 1 was 1 for 4. The power play for the Vancouver Canucks was 0 for 2. The penalty kill for the Preds, therefore, was 2 for 2. The Vancouver Canucks penalty kill was 3 for 4. When it comes to takeaways, the Predators had 5. Vancouver had 3 giveaways. The Predators had 6. Vancouver Canucks had 3. The Preds a little more reckless and careless with the puck, but that's also because of the dogged determination and pursuit of the Vancouver Canucks on virtually every puck in this game. So far, through one game in the series, your scoring leaders for the Nashville Predators, nobody with more than 1 point. O'Reilly has a goal, Zucker has a goal, and then assists to Josi Forsberg, Nyquist, Jankowski. UC Saros in net is 0-1 with an .850 save percentage, a 3.0 goals against average. On the Vancouver Canucks side of things, statistical leaders are Joshua, 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points. Quinn Hughes on the blue line with 2 assists for 2 total points. Lindholm has a goal, Suter has a goal, and Miller chips in with an assist. There were others with 1 assist as well. Demko is 1-0 in the series, a .909 save percentage so far, and a 2 goals against average of 2 so far. So we're getting all set up for game 2 of this best of 7 series between the Pacific Division winning Vancouver Canucks and the wild card Nashville Predators. Well, let's go back and talk about everything that happened in game 1 between the 2 teams that weren't expected to be here in the playoffs and the only 2 teams in the field that are different from the previous season. It was the Nashville Predators going into Vancouver to face off against the Canucks in game 1 of the best of 7 series. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We are all the way back to April 21st of the year 2024. It's time for Game 1 of the first round between the Nashville Predators, and this game will be taking place in Vancouver versus the Canucks. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines and defensive combinations in his first ever game as a head coach in the playoffs in the following way. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Beauvillier, Novak, and Evangelista, Jankowski, Sissons, and Zucker, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood make up the fourth line. McDonough and Josi, Luzon, Carrier, your second defensive pairing, and Stastny making his playoff debut, and Shen is his defensive pair on the third pair. UC Saros, of course, gets the start in net. We are 1 minute and 15 seconds into this game, and it's UC Saros making a save on Myers. It's the first shot on goal of the series. 1:33 into the first period. Now it's Demko coming with a save on Stastny. It's Nashville Predators' first shot on goal of the game, and it's also Demko's first save of the game. 2:25, Demko gets a chance to go back to work immediately. Comes up with a save on Beauvillier at the back post. This was a 5-star save by Demko, perhaps the single best save of the entire game, and it came at the 2:25 mark of the first period. 4:28 mark of the first. It's Colton Sissons off to the box. 2 minutes for cross-checking. UC Saros would have to come up with a save on Besser, but the Nashville Predators would come up with a strong penalty kill on this first special teams scenario of the game. At the 9:05 mark of the first period now, Demko comes up with a save on Carrier's long shot. Nyquist may have gotten a deflection on this one. Makes no difference, though. Demko comes up with the stop. The intensity is high. Every puck is being contested, and Vancouver does have the ice tilted a little bit in their favor, even though the shots on goal are very, very low for both teams. I would say Vancouver so far 60-40 overall in this game. 13:36 in the first period. It is Myers. He misses the net on a 3-on-2 rush. And at 14:26, Lindholm has a deflection that goes just wide left. So 2 really good scoring chances for the Vancouver Canucks, but they were unable to register a shot on goal. 16:07 of the first period. Now Demko gets the save on Luke Evangelista. And at 16:15 of the first period, the Nashville Predators break through with the first goal of the series. It is Zucker getting his first goal of the playoffs. A wrist shot from the top of the circle. Layers of traffic in front of Demko, causing difficulty with the vision. The Nashville Predators now have a 1-0 lead. 18:13 of the first period. UC Saros Saros. He freezes the puck, and it's the first decent scrum of the game after that whistle at the 1917 mark. Saros coming up with the save on Zadorov, and at the end of the first period, the Nashville Predators hold a 1-0 lead, are out shooting the Vancouver Canucks 6-4, but here's where the real game played out in the first 20 minutes of the series. The Vancouver Canucks out hitting the Nashville Predators 20-16. The teams obviously trying to soften each other up before going on the attack. 16 seconds into the second period on the clean sheet, it is Demko coming with the first save of the period, and that is on Sherwood. 47 seconds into the second period, it is Lindholm breaking through for the Vancouver Canucks and tying this game up at one apiece. Of course, it is his first goal because it is the Canucks' first goal of the series. Kind of a soft goal and a long wrist shot. Perhaps Roman Yossi's stick had some influence on it, but it seems like this is one that UC Saros probably would want back immediately. 3:19 into the second period, now fresh game 1-1. It's Saros coming up with a save on Myers. At the 4:13 mark of the second period, Saros coming with a save on Mikheyev from the bottom of the circle. This was a great scoring chance for the Vancouver Canucks, turned aside by UC Saros, and Saros is going to have to continue doing the strong work here in the second period because it's 7:26. Saros comes with a save on Zadorov at the end of an intense amount of pressure over the entirety of a shift by Vancouver. As a matter of fact, Nyquist would lose his skate blade during this exchange, so the Nashville Predators would be limited with a player being virtually unable to maneuver in at all out there on the rink. 7:42, Saros comes with a save on Pius Suter plus his rebound follow-up at 8:07 out of the second period. Saros comes with a save on Quinn Hughes at 9:45. The Nashville Predators get a reprieve from the pressure momentarily as Bluger picks up a penalty 2 minutes for interference on Luzon, who was driving hard to the net. It is the Nashville Predators and Ryan O'Reilly converting on the power play. O'Reilly's first goal in the playoffs and his first playoff goal as a Nashville Predator is a top corner snipe. Luke Evangelista does the flyby. Did he have influence over the glove? No challenge. No referee deemed a review necessary. The goal is on the board, 2-1 now in favor of the Nashville Predators. We are at the 11:52 mark of the second period, now past the halfway point in game one, and it's Demko coming up with a save on Colton Sissons at 13:13 in the second. It's Susie off the box, 2 minutes for holding on Tommy Novak. Demko comes up with a save on Ryan McDonough. The Nashville Predators, plenty of zone time, plenty of possession, but unable to generate the scoring chances necessary given this opportunity. 15:37 into the second period. Now it's Saros coming with a save on Hughes through layers of traffic. 15:56 in the second. Ronick comes up with a save. Is off the box. 2 minutes for holding the stick. Demko comes up with a save on Zucker. But again, that would be it for the Nashville Predators power play. Only able to generate one shot on goal at the 1948 mark of the second. Saros comes up with a save on Garland. That leads to a lengthy scrum. No penalties given out here as we head to the end of the second period. Nashville Predators leading 2-1. Vancouver now out shooting Nashville 14-12. So the Canucks had 4 shots on goal in the first period, 10 total shots in the second period. We go to the clean sheet. The Nashville Predators look to protect a 1-goal lead, but it is Luzon at 37 seconds into the period. Off to the box, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Saros would come up with a save on Miller, and then Saros would come up with another save on Pedersen. The Nashville Predators penalty kill would survive this scenario. We go to the backside of the sheet, and at 4:29 in the third period, we find DiGiuseppe off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping on O'Reilly. The Nashville Predators getting another power play opportunity, and it's Demko coming with a save on Philip Forsberg. And you got to give credit to the Vancouver Canucks penalty kill. Yet another power play where the Nashville Predators are only able to generate one shot on goal. And really, this was a disjointed power play. The Predators really were very limited by Vancouver. 8:36 now of the third period. Demko comes up with a save on Colton Sissons. Small scrum after that play. At 8:59 of the third period, it's Hughes, his first goal of the playoffs. It is a long shot through layers of traffic. Both teams utilizing multiple layers of traffic and screens to affect the goaltender. Hughes gets his first of the playoffs, tying this game up at 2 apiece. While the crowd is going wild and everyone is celebrating, and before the Nashville Predators can even take that first breath and gain composure, it is just 12 seconds later at the 9:11 mark of the third period when Joshua picks up his first goal of the playoffs. It is a turnover behind the net that led to Joshua being wide open in the slot to receive the pass. Carrier had one opportunity to deflect that puck, but was unable to get it as it went right through him. He got all twisted up, and Joshua converts from close range with his first goal of the playoffs, giving the Vancouver Canucks a 3-2 lead now in the third period. And if you thought the rink was loud from the goal that was scored 12 seconds earlier, now the place is going certifiably bonkers. We're now past the halfway point of the third period. It's 10:59 into the third, and when Saros comes up with a save on Garland at the 12:35 mark of the third period, UC Saros comes with a save on Roenick at 13:16. Demko a save on Luke Evangelista. Luke driving the net hard there, looking to make a play at 15:11 of the third period is Demko coming up with a save on Philip Forsberg. The Nashville Predators would go to the empty net, snaring the 6-on-5 attack with just about 2 minutes remaining. Demko would come up with a save on the captain Roman Josi, but the Nashville Predators would struggle to remain in game control. Joshua would get the puck at 18:32, and he would fire it into the empty net for his second goal of the period here. The Vancouver Canucks now lead 4-2, and that would be your final in Game 1. The Nashville Predators outshoot the Vancouver Canucks 22-21, but they fall due to the Vancouver Canucks having a 1-2 punch there in the third period of Hughes and Joshua, and then Joshua adding the empty netter for the insurance and closing it down. The Preds with the extra attacker virtually unable to generate any offense at all, and the Vancouver Canucks take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-7 series in the first round. Listen, the Nashville Predators struggled the first few minutes of the game. Vancouver largely controlled it, but the Preds got their skates underneath them, and they got a lead, and they were ahead in this game 2-1 going into the third period, and then they were unable to hold on to that lead. It went much the way the entirety of the regular season series went. The Preds now 0-4 in total if you combine the 3 games from the regular season. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap of Game 1, analysis, box score, and so much more coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
I need this. Welcome back in, Renegades of Puck podcast. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Now let's give you some analysis and some opinions before we move on to the next segment, which will be the box score. So let's get you some analysis right here. UC Saros got the start in this game for the Nashville Predators as expected. 17 out of 20 was the stat line, 3 goals against. You know what? It was not his best game by any stretch of the imagination. The first goal, whether it barely tipped off of the captain Roman Josi's stick or not, I know that the broadcast was trying to find a way to make this goal not seem soft, but the more they talked about it, the softer it seemed to get. So UC Saros definitely wants that first goal back. There were some good sequences for UC Saros in this game, especially there in the second period. I thought that he was quite strong to start in the first period as well. Was not his best game, was not his crispest game, and was not able to steal this one for the Nashville Predators. The Predators did have the lead in the third period, but UC Saros and the Predators defense could not hold up against the Vancouver Canucks attack. Honestly, it was much like what we saw in the regular season. To be honest with you, it was very reminiscent of those. Let's move on and talk about Ryan O'Reilly, who was a standout performer in this game for the Nashville Predators. His first ever playoff game as a Nashville Predator. Scores a goal, 23-39 in total time on ice. For some time, it was the goal that put the Predators ahead 2-1, but the Predators were unable to hang on to that. But 23-39 total time on ice, and it's clear that Andrew Brunette is extremely comfortable putting O'Reilly out there in virtually any and all situations and keeping him out there as long as necessary. 2:17 shorthanded time on ice, also something worth notating. A very strong playoff debut for the Nashville Predators for Ryan O'Reilly. Zucker, also a strong debut. He scored a goal in this game. He had 3 shots on goal, and the notation to make is he did what he was brought to Nashville to do. He was brought here because he has playoff experience. He was brought here to add depth scoring and to a veteran presence, and Zucker, I felt in his first playoff game as a Nashville Predator, was a strong performer out there. He didn't put up the most minutes in this game, only 13:45, but his 3 shots on goal and his 1 goal were certainly noticeable and would benefit the Nashville Predators if he could continue that type of play throughout the series. Mark Jankowski just seems to be built for these types of matchups. The higher the compete level, the more physical it is. Jankowski seems to really just enjoy being out there. Picks up an assist on this one when the Preds were struggling mightily on faceoffs early in this game. It was Jankowski breaking through and winning one of the first big faceoffs of the game for the Preds in the offensive zone, led to an assist. He only had 10:34 in total time on ice. The note I made for Jankowski was that he earned more ice time coming up in the next game and perhaps for the series moving forward. I thought Jankowski was a solid performer in this game. If everybody could have performed the way O'Reilly, Zucker, and Jankowski did, then the Nashville Predators might have been in a better position in this game. But unfortunately, one of the things it came down to, and this was the reverse of what the biggest fear was going into the series, the special teams have been dominant by Vancouver Canucks over the last couple of seasons versus the Nashville Predators, especially the Canucks power play. But in this game, it was flipping the script. It was the Canucks penalty kill that was not dominant, but it was strong enough to shut the Nashville Predators down when they had their best opportunities. The Preds power play did go 1-for-4. O'Reilly did have a power play goal, but the Predators had multiple opportunities there in the third period, and they only had total of 4 shots on goal for their power play for the entirety of the game, which means the Predators at times had good possession, had good zone time, but did not get the pucks on net quickly enough, did not get enough movement out there on the power play. That is something that's easily correctable, but the power play coming into the playoffs was as hot as it's been all season, and this was not that power play. Even though they do pick up a conversion, the power play was lacking energy, and it did not seize the moment when they had the opportunity. So the Vancouver Canucks penalty kill in this game held strong enough to help get them the victory. The Preds PK was 2-for-2. I thought they put in a nice bit of work, a nice bit of effort out there. But we said if it came down to special teams in this series that was going to favor the Vancouver Canucks, we just thought it was going to be the Predators taking penalties and giving up power play goals against, not necessarily Vancouver taking a number of penalties and their penalty kill stepping up and taking the momentum away from the Nashville Predators team. We'll talk more about this game, but that's going to do it for the Predators analysis of this show. Let's talk to our friends, Stripe Digital Solutions. So happy that they're back for the playoffs. Had a meeting with Stripe Digital the other day. Got some fun things coming here in the near future. Make sure you check out our great friends, Stripe Digital Solutions.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in. Time for the good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score. Let's start with the winning team, the Vancouver Canucks, and go through their good cold hard numbers. Joshua led the way with 2 goals in this game, including the game-winning goal. Lindholm and Suter also with goals. When it comes to assists, Quinn Hughes had 2. Zadorov picked up an assist on the defensive side of things. JT Miller had an assist. Joshua also picks up an assist for 3 total points in this game. Garland was a pest all night long, picks up an assist on the score sheet. Besser gets an assist, and Bluger also picks up an assist. When it comes to shots on goal, it was Pius Suter with 4 in this game to pace the Vancouver Canucks. Zadorov had 3, all of them coming from long range, but he was an effective player in this game. Tyler Myers had 3 block shots. That led the way on Vancouver. When it comes to the physical component of things, the Vancouver Canucks were really all over the Nashville Predators, especially in the first 20 minutes of this game, and the final stats of this game indicate the main players in that. Joshua was a nightmare for the Nashville Predators in this game. Not only did he have 2 goals, including the game winner, plus an assist, he also had 6 hits in this game to lead the Vancouver Canucks. He did all that in just 17:48 in total time on ice. 5 hits for Lindholm, 5 hits for Tyler Myers, and one of those was, did the Colton Sissons punch to the head, did that count as hit? And Zadorov also had 5, and when he hits those 5 hits, you might as well just make that 10, because each of his hits should basically count as 2. When it comes to time on ice leaders for the Vancouver Canucks, Besser at 20:01 for the forwards. That led the forwards in total time on ice. Miller at 19:49, Pettersson 18:39. All 3 of them very effective in this game. Quinn Hughes is going to be the ice time leader of the Vancouver Canucks in each and every game. 22:20 total time on ice. And again, we mentioned the Canucks penalty kill unit and how effective they were. Ian Cole, 5:08 in shorthanded time on ice. That was a quarter of his total ice time for this game. Came shorthanded. 3:43 for Lindholm and 3:08 for Bluger, who put up a really good, strong shorthanded effort in net. Demko, 20 out of 22, 2 goals against, an in-game save percentage of .909, 16 even strike saves, 4 power play saves, only 4 power play 5 shots on goal for the Predators on the power play. 4 of them stopped right there. And let's talk about the Nashville Predators side of things on the box score. It was O'Reilly and Zucker, each with a goal in this game. Assists going to Forsberg, Jankowski, Nyquist, and also the captain, Roman Josi. When it comes to shots on goal leaders, Evangelista had 5 in this game, considering the Predators only generated a total of 22. 5 is a nice big number for Luke Evangelista. Philip Forsberg had 3. Colton Sissons had 3. When it comes to blocked shots, it was Luzon leading the team with 3, and then 2 from several different players, including Tommy Novak, Alex Carey, Roman Josi, and Ryan McDonough. When it comes to the physical component of things and the hits, it was Cole Smith leading the way, and he was definitely making a mayhem out of himself out there on the rink. 6 hits in this game, 4 hits for McDonough, 3 for Luzon. When it comes to your time on ice leaders, 20:08 for Philip Forsberg led all forwards. No, it did not. It was second amongst forwards, 23:39 of O'Reilly led all forwards. 1944 was third, and that's Gus Nyquist. So the top line for the Predators getting the top minutes in this game being relied upon, but not putting up the big performance. When it comes to the defensive side of things, the captain, Roman Josi, led the Nashville Predators in total time on ice at 26:51, and then we see 22:49 for McDonough, 22:21 for Carey. Stastny at 12:47. In that 12:47, he made one of the best and most professional defensive plays that I've seen a Nashville Predators defenseman make all season long. He made it at a huge moment in a game, in a one-on-one battle, managed to not take a penalty, and do just about everything perfect on that play. Stastny just deserves all the conversation we can possibly give him here on this show. The box score is not the time for it, but that play needed to be notated somewhere, anywhere. I was going to shoehorn that play in at some point in time. Stastny truly showing why those other Predators defensemen are healthy scratched at this time. When it comes to the power play, we've talked about it already a couple of times. The Preds 1 for 4 in this game, so ineffective power play minutes for Evangelista at 5:07 and Forsberg at 5:11, Nyquist at 5:01, and then on the defensive side, Roman Josi 5:13. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Preds were 2 for 2 in this game. Time on ice leaders for the PK overall, McDonough at 2:30, and then O'Reilly at 2:17, and Carey at 2:02. When it comes to the rest of the numbers in the box or face-off winning percentage for the Predators, 43.8% in this game, 34 hits, 14 block shots, 5 takeaways, and 6 giveaways. The Preds on the underside right there. They were a little bit sloppy with the puck, but you also got to give the credit to the Vancouver Canucks and how hard they competed for every puck and how hard they forechecked checked, it was really about a 60-40 game in favor of the Vancouver Canucks from start to finish. The Preds had some moments where they were able to generate and they were able to get their game going, but overall the Vancouver Canucks were so competitive and determined in this game that they won a lot of those battles. They just had that little extra all night long, or maybe they had their regular and the Preds had a little lacking in this one. However you want to say it, the Vancouver Canucks were the better team and they were the better puck possession team. They were the more physical team, and they got the job done on their home rink to take a 1-0 lead in this series. That brings us to the close, and for the Vancouver Canucks, they won the Pacific Division. They, therefore, are hosting this series, and they have an opportunity now with 4 games against the Nashville Predators now since the beginning of the regular season to just wash, rinse, and repeat. Why would they do anything differently? The games unfolded much like the 3 games in the regular season. The Predators had moments where they played good. They even had a lead at times, but the Vancouver Canucks just took over the game and barnstormed, and it never really allowed the Predators to look like their normal selves. They might have had a shift here, a shift there, a couple of minutes, a couple of stretches, but the Predators did not look like their normal selves as they had for much of the second half of the season, and that's because the Predators in the 3 regular season games now and the playoff game have simply been unable to dictate the pace of play to the Vancouver Canucks, really for any more than a shift or 2 here and there. So the Vancouver Canucks have been controlling the pace of play. They've been dictating the terms to which the game will be played, and they've been more physical. What I'm trying to say is that the Vancouver Canucks are doing everything the Nashville Predators want to do, but a little bit better. That's that learning curve we talked about so many times during regular season between these 2 clubs. Vancouver is here as a division winner, and they are a couple of years ahead of the Predators in the rebuild, and the Predators are making their way up the curve, and they're being taught lesson after lesson by this Vancouver Canucks team. But listen, it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, you're being forged by the fire of significant competition. You are facing off against a division winner, and the Vancouver Canucks are not going to take any sympathy on you in any way, nor should they. This is the NHL playoffs. The best will rise, and you will have to win 4 series times the best of 7. By the way, Vancouver, you know you're not supposed to have a parade after the first game, right? You really didn't win anything yet. On to game 2. Elevate the compete level. UC Saros has to be better than he was. He's fully capable of being better than he was. Let's also factor in the Predators did have a week off without a game, a little bit slow, a little bit lacking in the details, and not as crisp where they needed to beat a team like the Vancouver Canucks. So for the Predators, elevate that compete level. I saw Sherwood, I saw Smith, I saw McCarron, I saw Sissons, I saw the bottom 6 going out there and wreaking havoc and bringing some mayhem to the rink. Everyone else needs to jump on board with the mayhem train and bring it up another level. Elevate that compete level. UC Saros needs to be better in net. If they get a better UC Saros and an elevated compete level, and Forsberg and Yossi get more back to doing what they do in these type situations, well, then the Nashville Predators could find themselves evening the series up at 1 apiece and coming back to Bridgestone Arena with a best of 5 in the next several days ahead. But for the Nashville Predators, they had their opportunities. They had a lead in the third period. They were able to get 2 goals by Demko without necessarily getting into those close high danger areas. So for the Predators, just fix the details a little bit, get a crisper, better performance from a couple of your bigger players, and continue competing as hard as you can. The Vancouver Canucks were the better team in Game 1, but it's a best-of-7 series, and the best-of-7 will reveal all and reveal the better team. Through 1 game, that is the Vancouver Canucks, and Joshua, not the name that anybody was expecting, is the player that has tormented the Nashville Predators through the first 60 minutes of the playoffs. I look forward to the Predators elevating and escalating and responding in Game 2. This is the most fun time of year, and I hope that you got to binge hockey all weekend long. A couple of more playoff games coming up tonight. Looking forward to every second of it. This is just so much fun, and it's so fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. We'll have some more information coming out soon about where you can find the show. We're moving to some new platforms. We're doing some different things, but for now, we're focusing on that YouTube channel. So please, if you can, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to give you continuing excellent coverage here from the bunker the remainder of the playoffs. We'll have an instant recap up as soon as Game 2 is over. full episode the next morning. So appreciate each and every one of you jumping in the trenches. Pass these links around. It is truly the best time of year. And if you got a Renegade out there that doesn't have a team that's in the playoffs, well, tell them to jump in on this series and get the best coverage coming right here from the bunker. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.